Which way?
Cedric D.
Which way?
They probably just eat ass with a baby spoon.
Which way?
That's what he said. That's what he said. Yeah. 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 That's what he said. So, that ain't my fault. That's what he said. That's what he said.
Which way?
That's what he said.
Which way?
That ain't my fault. I'm just gonna lay it down like this though. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. When I say my shit, I'ma repeat my shit. I'ma make sure you understand the foundation of everything where I'm coming from. Don't get it twisted. That ain't my fault.
Which way?
That's what I said. What? That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said.
Which way?
Wow. We gon' do it like that. Yeah.
Which way? Which way? Which way?
They probably just eat ass with a baby spoon.
That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.
Hello, my name is Cedric, and along with my fiance Connie, we'll be hosting a new podcast. That's what I said. I'm a retired Navy veteran that suffers from PTSD and anxiety, and we'll discuss how I cope with the mental illness through comedy and discussion. It's a podcast that will talk about everything from cryptocurrency to comedy. If we're worrying about the dollar going up and down, and it's still a dollar, guess what? The value of that means absolutely nothing. Cryptocurrency in itself is the future of money. From spirituality to cannabis. To have cannabis on the Schedule 1 list is bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. It makes absolutely no sense. If it's a seed that can be planted and it has healing properties in it, why the hell is it in Schedule 1? Last time I checked, cocaine don't have healing property in it. From interracial relationships, I don't have a problem with people talking about interracial relationships. People try to talk bad about my interracial relationship just to think that they can get under my skin. I mean, really, it don't bother me. I mean, let's not make, call a spade a spade. But if you have a problem with someone that's in love, it shouldn't matter the race of the person. It's mental illness in our community. The problem is people want to put labels on it. Everybody wants to put color on everything. And as soon as you put color on it, it gets treated differently. The money gets treated funny. Because if it's dealing with Asians, guess what? It's going to take a longer process unless those leaders step up and get into the president's face or U.S. leaders' face and say, this is a problem in our community. Not leaving one topic unturned. If you want to hear real authentic conversation, interviews, and comedy, please take time to listen to That's What I Said, because I said what I said.
Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. Listen to That's What I Said, available on your favorite podcast platform.
reach out and reach out. My all I see, destiny, yeah. It's just us tonight, like a candle in the dark, like a candle in the dark. Close your eyes, close your eyes.
Welcome to another episode of That's What I Said with your host, Cedric Sanders, giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. The broadcast starts now.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's good, everybody? Happy Friday. It's Good Friday. So, hope everybody's having a good Friday. What's cracking? Hope everybody is kind of, had a good week. Last week was, kind of crazy. This week ain't been no better. Hell, shit, I was driving yesterday and I'm in Virginia. It was snowing. It snowed for about a good hot 10 minutes. Man, I don't know what Mother Nature is doing. Y'all pissing Mother Nature off. I'm just saying. Mother Nature is on some real, I'm pissed off. I don't want to be around here. And I'm tired of COVID. I'm tired of y'all complaining about it. I'm tired of people not being able to go to work. So I'm going to do some weird shit with the weather. And it's springtime. And not to mention April. And here we are. It's snowing. Man, this is, it's stupid. It's completely stupid. And I don't get it. So anyway, welcome to another episode of That's What I Said on Spreaker.com. Download the Spreaker app so that when I go live, anytime I do a podcast, you'll get a notification and you can chat with me live. If you download the Spreaker app or click the link that is, if you're listening to me and watching me on Facebook, I put the link in the description, or I should say in the comment box, to where you can click it and you can listen to me live and you can comment as well. Additionally, this podcast will be shared on my personal page. I started a podcast page on Facebook. Of course, it's called That's What I Said. If you click on there, you'll see that there's a link. So every time I go do a podcast, it's going to be shared on there. I started a YouTube channel, like I said, last week. So it's immediately being shared on there. And then within 5 minutes of me ending the podcast, it will be available on all streaming platforms where you have podcast ability to download. So I hope that everybody is ready for this Friday's podcast on That's What I Said. Because tonight, it's definitely about to go down.
Bitch, what?
It is about to go down. Without further ado, let me introduce my co-host. And I think everybody is in a big sigh of relief because now I'm not doing my podcast solo. And I have some female energy in here to balance out, the male constituent, which is myself, that has always hosted the podcast. So, my co-host, the beautiful Connie. What's good, Connie?
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a great Friday. I'm happy to be alongside my man, Cedric.
The man, Jules.
And, I'm happy to be here and hope everyone is doing well.
So, babe, let's have this discussion before we get into everything else. What is going on next week?
A lot is going on next week. A lot is going on next week.
So, for people that don't follow me on Facebook, me and Connie are engaged, and we actually get married April 10th, which is in a short slap of 8 days. And next week is going to be a busy week. Outside of the fact we have family coming in and everything, it is just going to be a busy week. So next week, Friday, may be a special podcast where it may just actually be a podcast with guests that I have. And there's no telling what we'll be talking about. So please stay tuned and follow, because 9 chances out of 10, we're probably going to do a podcast and a Facebook Live or two. And I'm sure it's going to be nothing but comedy in that particular live. So please, I'm just saying,
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be good for the people that are on Facebook or Instagram or anything that follow me and Connie or that are on our friends list. And it's definitely going to bring some, I think, happiness to a lot of people, only because, people don't really get to see us because of COVID. We couldn't travel and we couldn't do the things that we wanted to do and see people that we care about. But I think besides of the craziness that's going on next week, let me ask you this. What do you think is been, I think, one of the most challenging things getting up to this point?
The most challenging thing getting up to this point, I think, had to have been selling the house in Washington and making the big move across the entire United States.
Yeah, just getting here.
Right. I think that was, I would have to say, the biggest challenge.
I have to agree. I think it was definitely that. There's just so much that went into getting to here that, yeah, it was just crazy. I think for me, it's just trying to make everything non-traditional, but have some traditional onsets to it. For the whole process. And I say that to say this. Nowadays, people have to have the perfect setup or the perfect arrangement or the perfect type of atmosphere when it comes to their wedding or when it comes to just anything. And I think because of, the situation that we're in the world with the pandemic and everything, I think it gave me a level of flexibility to be able to say, look, everything ain't got to be traditional. Hell, everything ain't got to be what everybody sees it as, for that matter. I mean, it could be informal. It could be completely all of about 15 minutes. But I think with that being said, it's just, rewarding at the end of the day. I think, when you're able to just put something together and it comes exactly how you want it to come out. So next Saturday would be the big change in our life. And the next step. Yeah, there you go. The next step in our lives. And like I said, next Friday, it won't be an actual traditional podcast. It will probably be something improv, I guess you can say. So make sure you stay tapped in and hit that follow and hit that follow on my That's What I Said page. So getting into, I think, this topic tonight, getting to the meat of the problem and having a solution.
this was built upon the trending trash. Let's deep into the trending trash. Only because yeah, I gotta be an asshole. So, what has been going on with trending trash there, Connie?
So, a couple big topics that have happened in trending trash. I guess the bigger one that's kind of still ongoing will have to be the Kevin Durant Michael Rappaport back and forth, and KD has to pay him 50 racks.
50 racks, man. That I don't care what anybody says. 50 racks is a lot. And you can't just, as a professional athlete, it doesn't matter your platform, it doesn't matter your friends, it doesn't matter the sport. You can't, as a professional athlete, comment in ways that you don't normally comment when you playing basketball. And I don't care if people are like, in this social era of being accepted in life and being a role model and being such a great ambassador to our kids and to our people. You cannot have anti-Semitic messages in text form, comments, anything you do. You can't do it. And people want to say, oh, it's because it's going to bite you in the ass. That's a small fraction of what it's going to do. I mean, that's a small fraction. Didn't we just have, oh shit, who was it? It was a basketball player, I think it was, or someone that had all this anti-Semitic stuff and it was like, I don't know. It was an uncomfortable kind of conversation, I think, to have with someone, but not even just that. Not even just that. When you have these negative comments, racial comments, bigotry type comments, anything of that nature, anytime you have these type of conversations, please, at least trust that person that you're trying to dog the shit out of. Because the KD situation involved, I would say, a reasonably known actor in Michael Rappaport. Now, for those people that don't know who Michael Rappaport is, Connie, do you remember some of the movies that Michael Rappaport was in?
Oh my goodness. Wow.
That pause means you probably don't.
No, I do, and I can't think of the name of the movie though.
What is it? What is like? Can you give me like a vision of what you think this movie might be, or?
Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now it's the hold on, and we're live, right?
I do know we're live.
You getting put on the spot. You got to be ready. So I'm gonna help you out. I remember Prison Break.
Prison Break.
What, when you talking about the Fox TV series that they had?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How about Poetic Justice?
Whoa.
People don't know that he was in Poetic Justice. Or I wouldn't say people don't know. People just have this not knowing
Yeah,
that
but that one.
he has a lengthy list of movies that he's done. I think people can remember him being in Deep Blue Sea because he was in it with LL Cool J and everything. And then some people that have kids that like Eddie Murphy might have remembered him in Dr. Dolittle too.
Yes, I remember him in that one.
Right. Now, a movie that I really liked him in was Hitch. And I think it was because, you know, it was kind of just Michael Rappaport, who he is. Because everybody doesn't know Michael Rappaport's a big sports fanatic.
Oh, he's a huge sports fanatic.
He loves New York sports. Let me say that.
Absolutely.
So, but he's done a lot of movies. I think the last movie he did was, oh God, what is the movie? It's either Sully, but I know it's a movie he did after that. Because he was a bartender in Sully, but there was another movie that came after that. But anyway, he's done lots of movies. He's definitely been doing, you know, small movies and everything else. But he's also had a successful career on Instagram. I think a lot of people, you know, actors and actresses, professional sports athletes and everything, even entertainment when it comes to music and rap, have an Instagram. And of course, you know, they have followers. And I think Michael Rappaport's has been followed more so and gotten more fans, I think. And this is just my opinion. I think he's gotten a lot more fans because of his social media presence, and it's more so, you know, because of the day and age we're in right now, because of COVID and everything else. So I think with him being in the position that he's in, I just think that he values professional athletes, you know, things of that nature, just because of what they do. But I think when they have certain conversations with people, I don't think he was expecting what was being said to him by Kevin Durant.
Absolutely.
I don't know. That's just like, you know, a friend that you've always been, you know, cool with, just coming at you sideways. And you're just like, where the fuck is this coming from? But I think it's sad. You know what I'm saying? I think it's sad because, you know, again, race is being kind of just being, I think the topic of why there's so much unrest with our people. And I mean our people, black, white, it doesn't matter. Everybody is having this attack on their race. I mean, you've seen the attacks on Asians, you've seen the attacks on blacks. I mean, shit, the attacks on blacks been going on for fucking years. Let's not even go there. Shit, we can go back 400 something years and talk about the attacks that's happened on black people. But there's other races that you know get discriminated against, Mexicans, Latinos. I mean, it's sad. And for someone to come out, I think, in just text or comments or whatever the case may be, and say that, knowing that you're a professional athlete and you have millions of people that watch you, not just children, adults, grown ass men and women like professional basketball, and will talk all kinds of accolades about Kevin Durant. I mean, I'm talking about old Kevin Durant, back in Oklahoma City, Kevin Durant. Been following him.
You could go back to the Sonics, Kevin Durant.
Well, exactly. You can go back to the damn Supersonics.
Yep.
Where he originally got drafted, and then OKC came about.
Right.
And guess who was on OKC by default, because he was with the Supersonics. first expansion team from that era. But I don't know. To me, it's people are not valuing the platforms that they have. But then people will say, no, he's just being him. You're absolutely right. So why is so many people upset about it is beyond me. But NBA fined him 50 racks.
Yeah.
That is like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's so much to even comment on that. I'm not going to no more because I've talked enough about it. But something I wanted to bring up briefly. Actually, I had just talked about it, so I'm going to talk about it again.
You eat ass with a baby spoon.
Why is the weather being bipolar? Please help me
We had
out.
this conversation last week, and I told you or said something to the effect of, Mother Nature, I think is not just bipolar, but I think she going through menopause or something, because she being a total
Bitch, what?
She is going in a complete asshole mode right now. I mean, it's just weird. It's just weird. But anyway, what else we got in trending trash?
The other thing we have in trending trash is President Biden's dog Major, the 3-year-old German Shepherd. He done went and bit someone again.
I'm done.
I
I am done. It's
ridiculous.
what what did President Biden get? Okay, first off, it's a rescue dog. I know this. It's a rescue dog. It's 3 years old.
Yeah,
It are
3 years old. Mm-hmm.
and it already. Go ahead.
My bad. He just finished going through training.
Right.
Like they sent him off to like doggy punishment school, basically, to get himself corrected from biting, and he just returned back to the White House, and not too long after, because the incident occurred like 2 or 3 days ago. When he bit someone again.
I mean, I'm kind of I'm kind of weirded out by that whole process. They sent the dog to discipline school or whatever, to like discipline training, not discipline school training, whatever you want to say. Send him to discipline school so that it can be more of an obedient dog. But then they bring the dog back, and the dog's probably been in the White House all of 2 weeks. And probably that same ass person that's missing a fucking nub right now went back to the dog and say, "Oh, you're so cute." And the dog fucking, "Fuck you, nigga."
No. Oh, goodness.
I'm sorry. I think that's what happened. But what do you think?
So at the beginning of March, it was reported that he caused injury to one of the Secret Service.
Mm-hmm.
This incident that occurred, he was involved with the incident with a National Park Service employee.
Okay.
So two different employees.
Right. But they were in the White House.
Right, exactly. Working the White House. Mm-hmm.
Somebody said that they think that they think the dog bit the first guy because the first guy was in there when Trump was there. And
no comment.
And they thought, hey, this mug got some Trump smell on him, and he bit his ass. I don't know. I'm just saying that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's some weird shit. Anyway, shout out to my brother, my boy, the King, Dominic Bibbs in the Facebook. He's got a group that he started that is very, very, very informative when it comes to learning about cigars. And he does, yes, sir. So he does reviews for cigars, and he'll just pick a cigar, do a review, talk about how it tastes and what it complements and things like that. And to me, it's very informative, especially for our people that like to, at the end of the week, specifically Friday, when they ain't got to work, they have, Saturday and Sunday to relax, they want to put one in the air. And he has an amazing group. So please, if you follow me, I'm going to start sharing his cigars on my page, his cigar reviews on my page. His group is called Kindred Leaf. So, go on his, go to the group page, put it in the search engine. You'll see Kindred Leaf, and you'll be able to see my picture on there. If you're friends with me, you'll be able to see my picture on there, so you know it's the right group. But yes, it's very, very informative, and a lot of people in that group, support each other, and they put it in the air and everything. So, putting support out there for my boy Dominic Bibbs in the building. So yeah, that's crazy. Just commenting on your the whole major situation with President Biden. I think that's kind of funny. That I think it's black. I bet he was in a black house.
Oh my goodness.
Say the rescue dog. I bet he was in a black house. He was probably in the house next door to Michael Vick. Let me stop.
Oh.
Let me stop. So, what else is going? I know, huh? What else is going on in trending trash?
The other thing in trending trash that has been happening this week has been the ginormous ship, the effort given that was stuck in the Suez Canal, shutting down all transportation of container ships and that move trade between in Europe through the Suez Canal. All the container ships go through there. So
well, it's not even just Europe. The Suez Canal is the canal that separates Asia and Africa. So when you shut that down, you can't really get into Africa or Asia.
Not by water.
Well, I mean, there's so much water around, Africa and parts of Asia. But if there's, if you wanted to seriously get to Northern Africa or just to get into, Southern Asia or whatever, you go through the Suez Canal. And to have it shut off because somebody didn't know how to drive a boat, that's funny as shit. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not trying to be callous or nothing, but damn. Who do you got driving?
There's been all kinds of, well, this happened or that happened,
Right.
And, there's been lots of different skeptical reports, saying that they did it to intentionally shut down, the means of traffic from the container ships moving, products from all around the world to Asia or from Asia and Africa to the US and, coming through and going through those channels and all that stuff. So there's been all kinds of different reports saying that it was intentional, and then lo and behold, the day of the full moon,
Yep.
it's unstuck and life is back to normal.
That's just crazy. I mean, yeah. Just to know what's going on in the world. I mean, I'm sure there's so much more going on in the world, and if y'all want to know more and hear about what's going on in your town, shout me out, hit me up in my inbox, let me know what it is, where you from, and what you would like to hear, and we'll put it on the trending trash. We'll look up your city and find out what the hell's going on, what the hot topic is, and we'll put them on the regular and put them on. Just because that's what we like to do. We like to be able to discuss and have conversation and be able to try and have this dialogue so that other people can feel comfortable, not just listening to us, but at the same time, just being able to have a conversation. Shout out to my bro and sis out there in Arizona, Lisa and Gary Van Avon. I gotta make sure I shout them out because they doing big shit and y'all don't know about it, and y'all about to find out about it. I mean, if y'all don't know about it now, y'all about to find out because they're gonna blow the hell up. So anywho, shout out to LeVar that was up in here in the building earlier. I seen him. He sent me a little comment on the Facebook. So, shout out to my boy LeVar. And what is going on in people's life where I think kind of changing topics, going into something kind of the topic of what I was just discussing as far as the podcast goes. But I wanted to ask Connie this before I got into it because it opens up, I think, the conversation when it comes to the topic. So, me having PTSD and anxiety, sometimes I have this ability to not give a shit about how people feel. And it's not just that I feel like it's about me. I just don't give a shit about how people feel. And the reason being is because I feel like an empty person trying to explain every day or how I try not to be bitter because, I don't like, when me and Connie can go into a store and I don't want to be in the store. And the sole purpose of us going to the store is to pick up shit for the house. And I don't like being around everybody else in the damn store. I just don't like being around a whole bunch of people. That's a problem. There's billions and billions of people in this fucking world, and you got to be around people to do what you got to do. But I get anxiety about being around people. And it has everything to do with what's been going on in the world. A couple weeks ago, there was mass shooting in Colorado. There's another shooting that happened in California. Then today, in D.C., somebody ran through the barricade. That person died. And the Capitol Hill Police died.
Yeah, the police officer was stabbed.
So the police officer one of the police officers was stabbed. 2 police officers supposedly got ran over. And then the guy that was in the car that ran the barricade, I guess, and stabbed the damn officer that died, he died.
Yeah, I think they ended up shooting him because, running over the officers and trying to run through the barricade.
Right.
I think they, had to draw down on them and do their job.
But this is what I'm getting at. Some people that have PTSD or don't have PTSD, they're just batshit crazy. People that have PTSD have this button. It's called a trigger. Everybody has a trigger. I don't care who you are. You're going to have a trigger. Somebody that's really dead set on pissing you off, trust me, you got a trigger. My trigger, I think, and all of what I was getting ready to say before was, my trigger has a lot to deal with bullshit. And I'm saying that to say this. Sometimes you don't necessarily control how people are going to act around you. All you could do is be you. What I've learned is that if you don't tell people how you are, who you are, and when you're going to do something, or how you're going to react if something happens, if you don't let people know this, it's going to be a shock to some people. And something I had to realize just getting to the position that we're at now, to where I said I'm going to launch a new season, and that's what I said. I'm going to bring a co-host, and I'm going to bring somebody that is not just a part of my life, but they need the same thing that I'm also talking about, as well as people that are listening in. Sometimes that conversation that you need to have with yourself, you need to have it more so for the people around you, because people need to understand who you are. If anybody can tell you who you are, it's always going to be the people that's closest to you. I was upset when we left Washington State because we had just gotten close with a couple that I strongly believe that we're related in some form or fashion, that they are my brother and sister. Like, I'm being dead ass. And I'm talking about my brother Dom and Shannon. Because we have a sissy in New York. We have a sister and a brother in Arizona. I got a brother, I call him my big brother, live in Texas. And then I have my actual blood brother who lives 2.5 hours from me. It's like I have all this family and all these connections and all this support and conversation. But people have an ability to cause so many problems that they don't even want to have the solution to the problem. They just want to be who they are right then and there, never changing. And people got to accept that. For me, it's different. I let people know how I am, who I am, what I'm going through, everything else, only because they deserve that. If you feel that people don't deserve to know who you are, you're the problem. You're the meat of the problem. The problem is we never have the conversation that we should have about what the problem is. People can say the problem is what they saw and what they experienced. Okay, what's the solution? What is the solution? People can speak of so many problems but never have a solution, but always bitching about the problem. If you don't have a solution to that problem, stop bitching about it. Stop bringing it up. Stop putting it on the other person to feel like it's their fault. We have a problem with even supporting our own people. We can't even support our own people, yet we bitching that we don't have this, or we bitching because we could have it, but really, what is it going to take for you to have it? So why bitch about it? You ain't willing to do the work to get it. Why are you talking shit about somebody that's already got it? Let alone upset that they got it and you don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like people rather take from somebody else that's bust their ass to get to the position that they at. You'd rather take from them than to actually just accept the fact that this person was in a position to be able to move in the direction that they're going and be successful at it. And yet, you know this person, but you won't even ask if this person will help you. Or ask the question, what did it take to get to that point? Because I like to do that. No, they don't want to do that. They ain't trying to do that. What they trying to do is take from your nest egg or take from another person's nest egg because it's a shortcut. It's a route how you can be able to get to the bag that you won't even work to get to. But you're going to talk shit about people that get in the bag. I don't get that. I don't get that. Connie, do you get it? Because I don't get it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's disheartening. The first portion, you was talking about your PTSD, your anxiety, excuse me, anxiety and stuff about going to the store and all that stuff, and not wanting to be there, but knowing you have to be there because needing things to be food, whatever, brought to the home and all that stuff. And I get it. I mean, we've been doing this for almost 4 years straight with, going to the store, trying to get in and out as quickly as possible. Something you mentioned to me early on, and it took me a minute to actually, really understand what it was and is for you to do that. Going into the store, you were talking about, where all the exits are, all the entrances are, who's coming in, who's going out, you're monitoring people walking past you, all that stuff. It took me a minute to understand and realize why you did that stuff, and I get it. It's not only to make your own self safe, but who you're with safe, and that if something does go down, you know where your exit route is, how to get the hell out of there, quick, fast, and hurry. Completely get it, understand it. You also brought up the point about triggers. People with PTSD, anxiety, depression, all those types of mental illness, everybody has triggers, just like you brought up. It could be from the most simplest thing. The simple thing of slamming a door or raising a voice. That could be a trigger and just totally set that person off for the whole day, for a couple of hours. Just depends on the actual individual. I guess for me, a good point in learning about PTSD and continuing on to try to get my own knowledge of what it is that you go through on a daily basis and whatnot is I had to resort to getting some books that helped me understand it more personally for my own self. A great book that I actually downloaded It's called Loving Someone with PTSD. And it's by Dr. Aphrodite Matt. I'm murdering her name. Oh my goodness. Aphrodite Matsakis. But anyways, it even has, within the book, it has different things as far as journaling for your own self to do. It has little little work things that you can go through and do. So great book. At any rate, and then going on to the last portion of what you were discussing, about people just, I don't know, people just don't care how badly they potentially are hurting someone by doing the things that they're doing, as far as taking from them, because they're trying to secure their own stuff. And they could care less, they're just all in it for themselves. They don't care about the other person's feelings, whether they were a friend or an acquaintance with you before. They don't care. Absolutely don't care. So, I don't know. The world has definitely changed from when I was a youngin' growing up, and where we are now, 2021.
Yeah. I just think that I think it's harder to explain what you're going through, only because I think it makes people feel uncomfortable, because maybe they feel like they gotta be a certain way or communicate with you a certain way, or whatever the case may be. And I think that people think that because I have PTSD and anxiety that, I can't act a certain way, or I can't just, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't always be not just supportive of that person, but you got to feel like you got to change certain things that you do because you don't want to set this person off. Something you need to realize, I sense bullshit. Like, I seriously sense bullshit. Like, I don't know if it's a superpower or not. I sense bullshit. And when people have this ability to bullshit you and not think that they're bullshitting you, they just think that, you know what, this is what I tell everybody because I don't want people to know who the fuck I am. Trust me, I'ma know you bullshitting me. And what's sad about it is you won't even know I know you bullshitting me. I'ma play along. The sad part about it is I'm going to play along so hard and so tough that when it comes to the point that I need to let go because I'm tired of the bullshit, I'm going to let you know before I go. That is the only difference. With PTSD and anxiety, it's the same thing without conversation. It's just that I'm the person that was always like that before PTSD and anxiety. Oh, it's 10 times worse now. Because when I sense it's bullshit, trust me, I'm done with your ass. I'm out. And it's not because of the fact I don't like you, and it's not because of the fact that I feel like, you're going to treat me wrong or whatever. It has everything to do with the fact that I'm not going to deal with this bullshit. Because something you're going to say is going to trigger me, and I'm going to embarrass the fuck out of you. Like, dead ass. And that's why I tell people right off the bat, you know, I'm loyal. I don't lie. I ain't got nothing to lie about. I'm who I am. This is who I am, period. 90% of the people that I meet respect that. There's that small percentage of people that's full of shit that want to try you. And I say they want to try you only because you trying me, and I know you trying me. The sad reality is that you don't think I know you trying me. And it has nothing to do with, you know, me being in the military. It had nothing to do with me experiencing the things I experienced in the military. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact I learned from my mistakes. I learned from the mistakes of other people. And I've also learned that telling the truth may hurt more than lying to somebody. But you got to remember that lie. That lie is almost like learning a new language. It's almost like trying to be bilingual and actually knowing what that word means, what that word means, and actually being able to use that word in the contents of a sentence that is not your native tongue. A lot of people can't do that shit lying. If you're a professional liar and you've been lying since you didn't came out the womb, trust me, I know you got a whole lot of friends because you done told a whole lot of lies.
Oh my God.
And half those people will tell you how they met you and everything else, but you can't remember the lie because you done lied to 3,000 other motherfuckers about some dumb shit that you ain't even done. Probably said some shit like, yeah, I used to be a NASCAR driver, but I only did one race. I got into a bad accident, and now I work the pits in NASCAR, but I'm in charge. So when the cars come in and shit, you know, I tell them this is what the cars need. So you the nigga on the headphones. And they'll just sit there and stop and be like, no, what you stuttering for? You the nigga on the headphones.
Pit crew.
Huh?
He's in the pit crew.
Yeah. You the dude that call when the driver calls in and says how I'm looking. And then the pit crew manager is sitting in the pit crew, and the old buddy is sitting off in the thing, like your actual manager, the dude that's on the headphones telling you how you doing, everything good, blah blah blah. I think you need to pit. He letting the pit crew know when I say I think you need to pit. He hitting the button saying, "Hey, get the Oompa Loompas together and get them tired. Yeah, get them tired things. Yeah, we got to do this." I'm just saying.
Bruh.
I mean,
You know, went to Willy Wonka that quick.
yeah, I mean,
Start of Willy Wonka.
hey, shout out to my brother Michael Hughes. That's listening to me on Facebook. Me and this brother served together in Hawaii on my very first ship when I was back in the Navy. Now, I'm not going to say back when, what year and all this other stuff, because I got this one gray hair that's on my chin that's not really going to tell my age. And most of the people that I serve with got gray hair, with the exception of some people. Some people don't, but most of the ones that, you know, that deal with the stress that we had to deal with, they got gray hair right now. So, and a lot of it might have been, you know, they ain't got married and had kids, and their kids is running them in the dirt like we did. But that's what it is. Anyway, so I think it takes a lot of patience to understand someone that has PTSD, especially if you're in a relationship with them, because they don't necessarily know all the answers, and the questions that need to be asked, sometimes you will never know the right question to ask until you understand who that person is. With Connie, me and Connie was different because I was kind of open about what I deal with, but I never really talked about it. And then when I got comfortable enough to talk about it, it was hard, I think, only because of the fact that it just allowed me to be vulnerable. And at that point, I didn't want to be vulnerable. And most men don't want to be vulnerable. I don't care who you are. You could be vulnerable to the finest woman, the woman you done fell in love with, all day long. It takes time to be vulnerable with that one. It just don't happen. It's not something that just happens automatically. So it was different for me because I didn't feel I needed to hold back when it came to Connie. I just think that, when we had the conversation and everything kind of just opened up and we, discussed it, it came more natural just for me to just be open with her because I didn't need to hold back. And I held back in previous relationships only because of the fact that it was like, nigga, you making cheese sandwiches. I need some meat in there. You making easy cheese sandwiches. I need meat. And when you having a conversation with somebody and you're really trying to get them to understand what you're going through, you can't just give them the meat. Because you give them the meat, they taking a part of you. You're the meat. So if we're not getting to the meat of the problem and having solutions and being able to solve these problems, all we're doing is creating more problems, which means you're not the meat anymore. Peace and love to my big bro, Sensei, in the building.
Big bro.
And I shouted him out. I shouted my brother Dom out. A lot of people that were influential and still are influential, even if they don't even really think that they are. I know that they know they are, but sometimes you may just be like, damn, distance, and I ain't talked to my brother in this long, blah, blah, and we can talk and it'd be just like we ain't never like not talked. These people have been like really, really influential in my life only because, yes, sir, they never was not loyal. Some people are just not loyal. You know what I'm saying? Some people are just not loyal. And I think I started talking about this last podcast. I'm strong on loyalty. I think everybody that knows me knows I'm strong on loyalty. So I'm not going to get into that. What I was going to say was this. Sometimes you need to understand who and where you are. And what I mean by that is understand who you are and where you're at. What are you doing? What is the things that are going on in your life that people can see you as being some different than what you present yourself? When you can actually understand that, that's going to help you understand the people that's around you. People that are around you that's trying to benefit off of you, you're going to already understand that. You're going to already know it. And I know Connie can vouch for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Dom and Shannon, I think, came into our lives, I think at a pivotal moment for us.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Not just for me and you as a couple, but I think even individually, and how they came into our lives that evening was wild.
Bitch, what?
I mean, being at that comedy show that night and sitting having conversation, yeah, and finding out we lived like around the corner from each other.
Right.
That was wild.
Right.
You know, getting to know them for who they are and their family, and like you said, you know, loyal A1 since day one. And,
Oh yeah.
You know, leaving Washington, yeah, that they were very, you know, they became our family away from family.
Right.
Truly. So
I think it was it was like that bonding that we really needed from people, because like I had just been going live, kind of expressing myself on Facebook Live, and didn't really think, you know, about doing Instagram, didn't really think about doing Twitter or anything else like that. And I still really haven't done Instagram. And I probably need to. And I haven't really started doing YouTube until tonight. So it got to a point where I felt like I wanted to get to know what I was going through as far as my PTSD and anxiety goes. But I also needed to find out, like, why some people are just loyal and why some people are just full of shit. And
Bruh.
I think I think it came to a point where when we met Sissy, and then later we met Sensei.
Right.
Before we met Dom Shannon, it was just going through that whole experience, going through the elements of understanding that people may not understand why you're in our life the way you are. And it's like, why are you so this and why are you so that? But then we had to go through, as a couple, people that didn't accept us. Not so much as far as like just a couple, just because of the fact that I'm black and she's white.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've definitely been through some shit with that one.
Yeah. That's for damn sure. And I'm not gonna get into it because that's an altogether different podcast. Shit will be on for another fucking hour. And
right, exactly.
So I'm definitely not gonna go there. But what I am gonna do though is go in this direction. Sometimes as you get in a better position to understand who the hell you are spiritually. And yeah, you're right, fuck them people. But spiritually, you really have to sit down with yourself and say, I'm ready to be better for me. When you can't sit down and have that conversation, you're going to always have an issue with everybody around you. If you can't sit down and say, I need to know me way better than everybody else thinks they know me. But then there's always going to be that one person that's always going to be like, I know what you're going through, and I need to not just be more of a friend to you, but I need to be able to tell you when I think you need to relax or you need to do this, whatever the case may be. Some people will come up to you and tell you that and not even mean that shit. They will tell you that shit. They will tell you that shit only because they want to know your business. Right or wrong?
Oh, absolutely. Wholeheartedly 1,000%.
It's like they...
Hey, how you doing?
Right.
Let me holler at you right quick.
You eat ass with a baby spoon.
I mean...
Exactly.
You have to be able to really just like separate yourself away from the bullshit, because some people are not ready to accept the reality that they need to actually experience themselves with. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, what the fuck did I just actually experience that I should never have experienced before? But I'm glad I experienced this bullshit, but I should probably have never experienced it. It's like literally somebody farted in your fucking mouth after you told them you loved you. You loved them. I mean, like, it's like literally.
Bruh. I need the bruh button.
Bruh.
It's like literally you said, I love you. I'm going to be there for you. I got your back. And this motherfucker just literally farted in your mouth as soon as you said that shit. And it's like, really, do we have to pay attention to what somebody says to us when they say it to us, and then ask them this one question that I really should start asking motherfuckers right when they say that I love you? Do you mean that shit?
Bruh.
Like, really, do you mean that shit? Because if you don't, why did you say it? Something my bro something my bro posted a few days ago is when somebody has done something to you disrespectful and you just said, fuck you, I'm done, I'm not talking to you no more, just get away from me. All of a sudden, after some time then pass, they'll send you a fucking message talking about they love you. After you didn't stop talking to this person, they'll send you a message saying, I love you. Let's talk about that shit. Because this is what I think people need to understand. You absolutely are the dumbest person that has really been here breathing. First off, you're not going to accept responsibility for nothing you've done. But as soon as you say, I love you, somehow that washes that shit away like a pencil eraser.
Bruh.
I mean, like, for real. Do you really think that somehow in the farts that shit Tiffany cufflinks, that's okay? Like, what in the slut magic is going on in this world?
Bruh.
I don't get it. It's like these fake, I don't care about who I am. What do I like, exactly? What the fuck?
So let me bring in one of my fuckery quotes right here because it's so fitting.
Oh,
to what you've been saying.
let me say this. There's also going to be a segment that we're going to say Fuckery Friday, where Connie is going to bring us a Fuckery Friday quote. Speaking of which, carry on with the Fuckery Friday quote.
So the Fuckery Friday quote that matches with what you're talking about says, when you fart so hard, you need chapstick for your wind-burned asshole.
Yeah. That part. I'm really that was funny. I like that one. But I'm really to the point that I don't understand why people are doing this. You know, they burn friendships, and there's something that my brother Billy Hayes said, and I'm gonna say this because I know there's people listening that's feeling the same thing he's saying. Why do I feel like this has happened to both of us by the same person? I'm crying right now because you know what? I forgot about that whistling, talking ass fool. I have never in my life, first off, you never trust somebody that whistles when they talk. Okay? Family Guy had I want to call him Smithers, but that Smithers is off of Simpsons. I can't think of the old guy's name that lived down the street from you know, Family Guy, from all of those fuckeries. And
I know who you're talking about.
I'm not thinking about them. I'm just trying to like get my mind off the situation right now because Billy's right. It's not even that he's kind of right. He is right. Because this shit's happened twice to me. Okay? So, I'm trying to find a correct way to say this. So, there was this asshole. I'm sorry. I'm going to probably start every story off this way because that's what I think of people that think that, you know, they're superior than the dumbass that they are. You can't be superior than the dumbass you are when you don't recognize you're a dumbass. That's like a Rubik's Cube for colorblind people. How the fuck are they going to put that together? They're colorblind, you dick. Anyway, so if you have somebody that is supposed to be your friend, but they're a dumbass, and tell Jay I said, hey, you can't absolutely positively think that really in life people accept you for who you are. There is no way in hell. And what I don't get is like when you try to take advantage of people or you lie to them or you put them in a financial bind or whatever it is that you choose to do. You can't expect these people to not feel some type of way, especially if you never apologize, you never done anything to fix the situation, and then the only thing that you feel that is supposed to make the whole situation better is put a Band-Aid on it by saying I love you. After you haven't said nothing to these people, months, years have gone. And the first thing that comes out of your mouth is I love you? Not, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you in this position. I didn't mean to, you know, whatever. The first thing you want to say is I love you? Western Union need to start sending boots to faces. Like, people need to get Western Union a foot in the face. Fuck a slap in the face. A foot in the face. Instead of an apology, I'm sorry, I didn't mean this, no. You need a foot to your fucking face if you're going to actually sit there and think the first message you're going to send somebody is I love you. When you did everything you could to discredit this person, because you probably lied, you probably done said some shit that ain't true about this person. The second thing you probably did was made yourself out to be something that you're not. You put yourself in witness protection program, so you changed your damn name. I mean, what else is there to do other than to prove that you full of shit?
Yeah, their witness protection program is themselves changing and creating 500 friggin' different Facebook pages and shit and stalking your page just to see what you're doing and what you're up to gain content and to talk more shit because they don't have anything else relevant to do in their fucking life.
But this is what I don't get. And not to make this long-winded, but this is what I don't get. If you don't have a life, okay, and the only thing you deem entertainment, or for that matter, enjoyment for your soul, that was an asshole move. But anyway, yeah, let me play the button because that's exactly what I was doing. If you can't figure out what you're doing to people and you think that this is okay, you're an asshole. And I'm going to add this because Billy said this, and actually I was thinking something like this, but I'm glad he said it the way he said it. I'm thinking, how broke is this person that they think calling me after some time is going to work? Let's not even talk about the financial part of it because you definitely got to be a broke ass. But let's talk about the mental. You definitely got to be a broken individual to take still whatever you've done to this person and then think that if you call them, that everything is going to be gravy. When the first thing out of your mouth is, hey, I'm glad you accepted this call. I appreciate that because you know what? I was a shitty ass friend. I'm sorry. What I did was just wrong. No, they can't lead into that because that would just make things, make sense. They want to lead the conversation was like, what's up, bro? Man, I love you. Bitch, if you don't take your hamster deep diving ass the fuck up off it, no. There ain't no way you just gonna sit there and just try to, just act like everything is okay. Better yet, they may feel that you supposed to contact their ass.
Nah, it don't work like that. You done fucked me over, but yet you think I'm finna call you? Fuck out of here with that bullshit. And
I mean,
wrong answer.
Right. What I don't get though is why is it okay for our own people to do all the shit that they don't want something done to them? Explain that shit to me. Because that's not even a kickball game.
Let's see. You got some explaining to do.
I mean...
Bitch, what?
I mean, even if you think it's okay to have a conversation with someone without the even simple thought process of apologizing, how? I'm looking at the comments and Billy is funny as hell. He was like, the game is called, hey, let's forget what an asshole I was 2 weeks ago. No. See, we're not playing that game. We have to play the I'm humble. I accept the fact that I was an asshole and I need to apologize. No, they can't even play that game. They're going to play the, no, you're going to be my friend, or I'm not going to be your friend no more and you can kiss my ass. Well, you know what? I'll take option C since you didn't say option C. Option C is I should put my foot sideways in your ass like the ship that got stuck in the Suez Canal. And I should block anything that comes in or out.
Oh, well. I'm going to sip my tea on that one.
I'm just saying. Anyway, I think we've been on long enough. We've been on for a good hot minute, and I'm not trying to keep people on long.
Things were just getting good though.
I know. Maybe if there's something in particular you want to talk about, we could do that. Not that I want to get off. I'm trying to be respectful and keep it within a certain time period. But you know what? Like I said, that's what I said. And I said what I said. So we can keep going. If there's anything that's on your mind, darling, please have that conversation.
No, I was, you could have continued on with the conversation and what have you, going on with regard to said assholery that's going on with people that, fuck you over, aren't loyal to you, could give two shits about anything that you're doing in your life, but then weeks, months, years pass, and all of a sudden, individual reaches out to you. Hey, how you doing? Acting like ain't shit happened, nothing. Man, get the entire fuck off my phone. Don't text me. Don't call.
Bruh.
Don't try to friend request me again. Because, no. It don't work like that. Period. Don't work like that. I got shit to say to you until you fucking come to me, like you said, humbly, with a fucking apology that's real and authentic. If you ain't gonna be real and authentic, fuck out of here with that bullshit. No, don't work like that.
I'm glad you said that, because something that just came across my mind that I was not gonna do and not gonna say, only because when you start doing a podcast and you start to do it on Facebook, you kind of want to build an audience, but at the same time you don't want to piss nobody off or become that person that talks that way. But I'm just gonna say that if you act like you don't know me anymore or don't want to know me no more, and you decide to block me, trust me, I don't know you anymore. So if a strange, weird text comes to me or goes to anybody that I'm associated with and it has my name in it, 9 chances out of 10, I'm probably going to call you and cuss you the fuck out. And I'm saying that to say this. If I was ever friends with anybody and I stopped being friends with them, there's a reason behind it. If I decide to not have a relationship with someone because of my own personal business and I don't put the shit out there, yet this person might want to put the shit out there and completely play the victim, I got a problem with that. And it's not because I feel like because I blocked you or I stopped talking to you and I unfriended you on Facebook or whatever that situation may be. It has absolutely nothing to do with the truth, right? Yeah, it has everything to do with the truth. People don't just unfriend you or stop being your friend unless something happens and they feel in their mind that they're not your friend anymore. Because if you was deeply in that type of relationship with that person, you would actually do one or two things. Either you're going to try to figure out why we're not friends anymore, or you're going to walk away and leave. You're not going to do the number 3 thing that a lot of these fake ass people do. You're not going to actually sit there and play victim and lie to everybody around you and say, oh, this motherfucker did this to me and blah, blah, blah. And I don't understand why a motherfucker just want to sit there and treat me like crap. But you don't need to be talking to them because I know they talking crap about you. Because if they was talking crap about me, I know they talking crap about you. Is they on your friends list anymore? Nope. He deleted you. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
You eat ass with a baby spoon.
let's round circle all the friends on our list to make sure they not friends with you and you. Because if they are, go ahead and unfollow and unfriend them now, so we can talk shit about them later.
Oh yeah.
So they don't know about it.
Yep.
But yet they don't think that there's other people or what have you in other groups or friends lists that they're on, that if things are spoken about you, don't you realize that shit gets back? And if you were a friend, you would halt that conversation quickly, come to the table, have a conversation, put shit out there, hash it out, let it be done with. Oh yeah, I forgot. People don't work like that no more. They don't work like that no more.
I think too, it's more in a sense to where some people live in their ego and they want to blame other people and say that it's their ego is the reason why they're not friends anymore. When really that person is living in their ego. And I'm going to say it like this. Sometimes people do live in their ego to prove a point. Sometimes people don't live in their ego and get blamed for being in their ego to prove a point. A person that's smart enough to do that is probably smart enough to let you realize that you're full of shit. They just don't want to tell you that you're full of shit. And the reason why they don't want to tell you is because they actually care about you. And then some people will say they couldn't care about you. I would tell him he's full of shit. If I care about him, I'm going to tell him he's full of shit. And I don't give a damn if they don't like me or not. Then you ain't really trying to be their friend. I'm going to let somebody know if they fake. I'm going to let somebody know if they fake as fuck. There's two different fakes. You can be fake to be around friends, and then you can just be fake as fuck. That means that you just fake as hell. You ain't trying to impress nobody because you know you fake. That's fake as fuck. If somebody's dumb enough to be your friend after they find out that you fake as fuck, trust me, you deserve every dismilled bullshit that's about to get scooped in your ass. Because when a real nigga come around and realize how fake you are and they call you out on it, don't get put in your feelings. Don't feel some type of way when someone actually tells you full of shit. Because when somebody actually has enough balls to tell you full of shit, 9 times out of 10, you full of shit. So don't sit around there and try to manipulate the conversation and say that it's them motherfuckers trying to judge me. They trying to hate on me. Ain't nobody judging you. Don't nobody want to hit no gavel to judge you. Trust me, nobody does. If somebody says you fake as shit, you probably fake as shit. If you lie and you fake as shit, trust me, conversations is going to be said about you. Period. Not making an excuse, not trying to, dumb it down. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be topic of conversation in somebody's whatever. And they ain't going to change the words to protect the innocent because your ass ain't innocent. You lied. You said what you had to say. They going to say they shit. They going to say they shit. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I've experienced both sides and really don't care for either one of them. Because it's hard to break up with someone you thought was a friend or you thought that was like a part of your life when being full of shit is what they're all about. They should be in a gang called Full of Shit. I mean, they should have t-shirts, not gang symbols, because I don't know how you make an F and an S, but they should have t-shirts. They should do a podcast. Fuck, why not? All the people that's full of shit will probably sponsor it and listen to it. I mean, it's difficult to really just be mad at people that are full of shit. And this is, I say that to say this. It's almost like You know when you first get a pair of glasses and it always looks, the vision is clear and everything is like perfect and pristine. You're like, oh yeah, I can see we're clear. Yeah, that's what's up. That should be like that when you first become friends with somebody. You should know clearly if this person is really a person that should be around you and support you and will accept you. You should know that. This is the problem. We're too busy worrying about being accepted into whatever this person's belief is. And we can't even think about accepting ourselves into the reality of what this world is about. We can't even accept the fact that sometimes we're going to meet people that's just not going to gel with us. They're just not going to gel with us. They're not going to understand what we've been through. They're not going to understand where we're coming from. Because they're not trying to. They're living their life. And I said all that to say this. Be who you are all the time. Not sometimes. All the time. Because when you are being who you are, ain't nobody gonna judge you. Ain't nobody gonna question you when you fuck up. They not. They ain't got time to. The reason why they ain't got time to is because they don't have to accept you if you're not being authentic with them. Be who you supposed to be 300%. Stop worrying about being judged. Stop worrying about it. So, with that being said, what you think? What you think, Connie?
I think it's time to wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Get out of here.
Yes, sir. So, gonna conclude this podcast on this Friday night, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. For those that came in late, please catch the beginning of the podcast. For those that didn't be able to get to listen to it at all, please, if you're catching this part of the podcast, please, as soon as it ends, go back, download it, listen to it. I think it'll bring some entertainment on your Friday night. You'll be able to sit back, put something in the air, or drink, or whatever it is that you plan on doing on this Friday evening. But with that being said, I pass it to my co-host for her goodbyes. I'm going to come say mine, and then we out.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to our second episode. And like Cedric said, hope you enjoyed, had a good time. If you have something that you want us to talk about, feel free to send us an inbox. We will be happy to look over your question, bring it up on air, talk about it. Other than that, I just want to say peace and love and thank you everyone for listening. Back to you.
Like it's a news report. Back to you, Bob.
I almost said Bob, but I
Bitch, what? Bruh. So, with that being said, y'all, peace and love. I hope everybody enjoys their weekend. Please don't encourage dumb shit because dumb people are out here wanting to be recognized. Don't encourage these dumbass people to be dumb. They're going to always be who they are. Just accept them and move on. Shit, make them a sandwich. I don't know. Just do something that's going to benefit them and let them be dumb. Just let them be dumb. Because at the end of the day, that's all they're going to ever be. They ain't going to change. They ain't going to try to. Next week, like I said, it's going to be something different. It's probably going to be a podcast sponsored by That's What I Said, and it's probably just gonna be me and some other people that were just gonna just rap. Then again, we might do a Facebook Live. We don't know yet. Conversation ain't been had, and when it does, trust me, you're gonna find out. So please follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and anything else. On Twitter, it's That's What I Said 25. Instagram and Facebook is That's What I Said. Like I said, I also have a what do you call it? One of those creator pages that's from That's What I Said, and as well as a Facebook group. I mean, not Facebook. I'm sorry. YouTube. It's That's What I Said TV. Please subscribe to that channel, as I'm going to start migrating over to YouTube, and it's going to be a strictly live podcast with, the YouTube comments and interactions. Facebook is really going to probably try to restrict it, and that's the reason why I'm trying to move it over gradually over to YouTube, because I will be playing music and I will be having interviews. And at that point, when I move over to YouTube, I'm probably going to be in the range of 2 hours, which means you'll be able to pop in and out and still have YouTube running while you do your other things. You can't do that with Facebook, but you can do it with YouTube. So anyway, with that being said, peace and love to everybody. I hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend and stay out of trouble and get out these streets. I'm out. Peace.
Which way?
That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.
Cedric D. Sanders.
Which way?
They probably just eat ass with a baby spoon.
Which way?
That's what he said. That's what he said. Yeah. 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 That's what he said. That ain't my fault. That's what he said. That's what he said.
Which way?
That's what he said.
Which way?
That ain't my fault. I'm just gonna lay it down like this though. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. When I say my shit, I'ma repeat my shit. I'ma make sure you understand the foundation of everything where I'm coming from. Don't get it twisted. That ain't my fault.
Which way?
That's what he said. That's what I said. What? That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said.
Which way?
Wow. We gon' do it like that. Yeah.
Which way? Which way? Which way?
They probably just eat ass with a baby spoon.
Hello, my name is Cedric, and along with my fiance Connie, we'll be hosting a new podcast. That's What I Said. I'm a retired Navy veteran that suffers from PTSD and anxiety, and we'll discuss how I cope with the mental illness through comedy and discussion. It's a podcast that will talk about everything from cryptocurrency to comedy. If we're worrying about the dollar going up and down, and it's still a dollar, guess what? The value of that means absolutely nothing. Cryptocurrency in itself is the future of money. From spirituality to cannabis. To have cannabis on the Schedule 1 list is bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. It makes absolutely no sense. If it's a seed that can be planted and it has healing properties in it, why the hell is it in Schedule 1? Last time I checked, cocaine don't have healing property in it. From interracial relationships, I don't have a problem with people talking about interracial relationships. People try to talk bad about my interracial relationship just to think that they can get under my skin. I mean, really, it don't bother me. I mean, let's not make, call a spade a spade. But if you have a problem with someone that's in love, it shouldn't matter the race of the person. It's a mental illness in our community. The problem is people want to put labels on it. Everybody wants to put color on everything. And as soon as you put color on it, it gets treated differently. The money gets treated funny. Because if it's dealing with Asians, guess what? It's going to take a longer process unless those leaders step up and get into the president's face or U.S. leaders' face and say, this is a problem in our community. Not leaving one topic unturned. If you want to hear real, authentic conversation, interviews, and comedy, please take time to listen to That's What I Said, because I said what I said.
Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. Listen to That's What I Said, available on your favorite podcast platform.
Bitch, what?